Good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Just testing my audio here, guys. Real quick. So just bear with me 1 second. Make sure my audio is good. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Looks like I have you. I have you. Good morning and welcome. Just chime in if you're watching, wherever you're chiming in from. If you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, if you're on some other social media channel. Welcome to Business Live Wednesday. All right, Business Mastery Live Wednesday. It's great to be with you. It is December 13th. Christmas is coming up shortly. And it's good to be with you. Today, I am not in my office. Today, I'm traveling. I'm in New York, visiting my family. And we're still going to come out here and deliver some type of value to you today. Hopefully, the messages that we cover today, and bear with us, turn this music off. Hopefully, the message that we cover today is going to be of some crucial contribution to you as we end this year. You know, Christmas, man. Christmas is coming up like, man, less than 2 weeks away, right? We've got 12 days until Christmas. This year flew by very, very quickly. And how has that year been for you? This past 2023, how has it been for you? I'm hoping that you had a magnificent year. I'm hoping that you've gotten the gains that you wanted to get as a business owner, as an entrepreneur, that you've gotten all that you want out of this year. And that 2024 is looking brighter for you as we move into the new year. All right. So today I want to talk about some of the things that I'm going to talk to. If you're a contractor, if your revenue is, more than $1 million, really getting up to maybe even more than 2 million really is what I'm talking about. Because if you've been in business for a while, you're doing a good amount of revenue. And then you're going to be dealing with maybe not knowing that you have enough cash, or expecting you have much more cash than what you actually do, because you've gotten to these levels. It's like, yes, man, my company is doing $1 million, $2 million a year, but why is it that my bank account is not reflecting what it is that we're bringing in revenue? All right, so we're going to talk about some of those things today, and hopefully, as we transition from 2023 to 2024, you're going to have some clear access to ways that you could move that business forward and have the cash that you want reliably and consistently year after year from now on. So we're going to hit on a few points here today. But we want to get started with, let's go over the basics that we go over every single week here to make sure we're good to go. And in case you didn't know, this is me, Chaston Bulgin with By the Books Consulting, senior consultant over here, and the founder here. All right, and we help out you small business owners with accounting, things that help you manage your accounting, like QuickBooks and the technology that you want to use to run your business. We do tax planning, tax filing, compliance work, and tax advisory, also some business advisory. And this is how you reach us, 888-4BTB now. That's 888-428-2669, or you can reach us on the web at bythebooksconsultants.com or youraccountingsuperhero.com. You get to the same domain, the same website, by going to either one of those links. And this is my email, okay? And before we get started, guys, I want to make sure we have a quick disclaimer. The following is for educational purposes only and is not to be considered financial, accounting, or legal advice. Please consult your tax, accounting, and or legal professional for specific advice. And if you haven't been in the conversation, you're brand new, I want to make sure you understand where we stand, the pillars, the foundation on which we stand. And when it comes to business mastery, number one is going to be intentionality, which we call mindset mastery. This is a focus on the things that matter, the things that count, and excluding everything else, including the things that we think to ourselves. Okay. That's a big deal. We get distracted by the things that we think to ourselves a lot of times and the things that are in the background in terms of limiting belief systems that we want to move out of the way so that we are clear to the task. We can go out here and execute and do the things we need to do. Financial mastery, which is also financial literacy. We talk about these a lot inside of our talks today because numbers are the language of business, and we want to have a clear understanding of how to read those numbers. That's why we call it financial mastery and financial literacy, so that we can read that number story. And 3, we have structures, which is also known as system mastery. If you've ever felt like there's some things that you keep just doing over and over again, and you're tired of having the same old stuff show up, it might be because you haven't created the systems as you take these actions. We also want to solidify the things we do by creating a structure that allows that thing to continue to be in existence after we do them. So we want to have system mastery, the structures in place to keep doing more with less, so that we don't have to keep redoing things and reinventing the wheel. Okay, that's what that means. And then we have actions, which are execution mastery. So nothing really happens out here in real life, in reality, without taking the actions that deliver the result that we want. Some of us like to do a whole lot of things, myself included. I get into the world of just, doing things, staying busy. Busy. And at the same time, is it producing the result that I said I wanted to produce? That's where this comes into play. And now if I know that the action I'm taking is not really in line with the outcome that I want, well, I need to take a moment to consider and stop what I'm doing now, and then find that one action that's actually going to be in alignment with the thing I said I would get out here, the outcome I actually said I would create. All right. So a lot of those things we want to make sure for ourselves are clear. Now, if we have all these components in place, then your business, sky's the limit. There are no limits to how you can grow inside of where you are. There's going to be a clarity. There's going to be a velocity. There's going to be an energy. There's going to be a flow to everything that you do. And you're just going to be known as somebody who just gets the job done inside of businesses, right? Whatever you create, it just flourishes automatically. And if there's anything that doesn't look like that where you are in your business, then I guarantee you, if you look in one of these places, there's an out of alignment, and that's where you want to go to work to put this back into alignment. Either something's in the way in terms of mindset, either something's in the way in terms of your number story, something's missing in terms of the understanding around the number story. Maybe you haven't created the structures in the business that are necessary to keep that business moving forward with leverage. And then there could be maybe an out of alignment with the actions that you're taking, which is the case a lot of the times with you and I. All right, we do stuff, and it's not necessarily the actions that line up with the result that we said we're here for. Okay, so that's the pillars that we stand on in a nutshell. All right, so today I want to get back into this conversation, and I'm not going to keep you here too long, guys. Today we want to talk about specifically if you are like in the contracting realm, if you're a general contractor, if you're a specialty contractor, maybe you do residential constructions or remodels, you're starting to get, or you've been in business for a while, and you're doing multiple projects, you're doing really well, you have made a name for yourself, and I mean you're having a real good footprint in the economy, which means you have people working for you, maybe employees, maybe some subcontractors. You really know what you're doing out here in terms of creating that value. You really know your craft, you know your business. But at the same time, on the financial side, on the compliance side, on the organization side, there's that component missing, which is causing some stress, especially this time of the year when you want to have, that full realization of joy and peace for the holidays. There's some things in the back of your mind because the end of the year is coming, and you want to know, am I actually good to go here? In terms of, number one, am I doing the things that I'm required to do in terms of what the government asks me to do, compliance-wise? That goes into taxes and filings and everything that goes along the way. Like even when you're paying your people, are you doing it in a way that's going to make sure you're above reproach, right? And you might not necessarily be certain about that, so that's in the back of your mind. The other things that show up is, well, how do I know that I'm actually as profitable as I want to be? Because it seems like the cash flow that's going through the business may not be exactly what you intended. It's just a little off. It doesn't look like the way you want it to look. And you were hoping that you were having more so than what you have, actually maybe even a lot more than what you have currently, and you're wondering why that is. Sometimes what I've heard is, businesses, and if you're a contractor, you're actually doing a lot more volume, getting a lot more business, but then the money in your accounts are not going up by comparison in correlation to what you actually brought in terms of new revenue, right? So that looks very different, and it might be a little frustrating to see, that be the case, because it seems like you're winning, right? You're winning inside of growing the client base and doing more volume. But why is it that even though I'm doing this, I'm not seeming as though I'm reaping the benefits of it all the way, right? There's something missing. And so there are these problems that exist inside of, the efficiency side is how I want to put that could leave you having less of a result than what you really want. And then it could be kind of defeating to think about, you're putting out all this effort and you're winning in this one area, but then why is it that I'm not getting that full reward for it, right? So there's that thing about that in the background. Not saying that it's killing you off, because you might be grateful for the fact that, you're doing more so in volume than what you have been. Your business is actually thriving and you're generating a good amount of revenue. But there's that thing. It's like, well, what's going on here? Why is it that this thing is not really delivering exactly what I want? And there are reasons for that, guys. There are reasons for that. And a lot of times it deals inside of the, number one, the financial literacy component of it. Like, what is it that we're actually putting together to track and monitor our number story? If that's not clear, then you're going to have this type of issue. Like, if you don't have a system in place to understand, well, how is it that your guys are performing when they're out there in the field? Like, how much they're costing you versus how much they're bringing in, that type of performance. You may have different divisions. You may have residential versus commercial inside of what you do. And you might think that one's performing better than the other, but you don't have a clear idea, right? It's not clear for you. You may have multiple locations, right? And you don't know which location is performing better than the other. You might have specific jobs that you're doing and you're taking on, like project wise, and you're just taking on all these projects, but you don't have clarity on exactly what projects are more profitable than others. And you're taking on more work, but it might not be taking more work that's benefiting you because of that. So those are the things that we want to take a look at in terms of, getting our eyes on the complete picture and complete operation of your business so that you can make the choices that count, that'll deliver you the result that you intend. And trust me, man, I get it. I get that we're out here doing what we do. You're really good at what you do. You're taking care of your people. And these things matter. They're like, at the end of the day, you're spending all your time, resources, energy, effort to do something. And you want to have something to show for it, right? So how do we actually clarify and solidify that you actually get something to show for it that's correspondent to the amount that you put into it, okay? And there's some more issues, guys. I want to make sure that we talk about these things because, I had a guy come to me recently within the last month or so, and it wasn't the first time he had come to me. He came to me a couple of years back, and there were some issues. His business is not doing poorly. He's bringing in money, and it's not in the contracting industry, guys. It's another industry, but similar flow to it, right? Because he has subcontractors that work in his business that technically should not be subcontractors, because they don't have really a choice on which way to go. They have a schedule that they work with him specifically. They're not taking business from other general contractors. They're just working directly with them. So technically, and also they're performing the main service of what the business does. So technically, these people want to be classified as employees, W-2, not 1099. And he wants to take care of these people, of course. I want to take care of the people that work with me all the time, so that they feel good about the environment that they're in, and they know how much I appreciate and value them, and all the things that go along with that. I get it, man. You want to make sure your people are taken care of, and sometimes the choices to do that are out of alignment because we think we're taking care of them when we're not. In this particular case, he was paying these guys 1099, but not really reporting that he was paying them 1099. So what happens with that? Well, there's a risk, right? You guys putting yourselves at risk for, out of compliance, right? Because we're not actually reporting the income that we're paying to others, which is technically illegal. Okay. And the other thing is that by doing that, this particular person didn't understand, that the tax burden falls on him. If he's not reporting these guys as being paid, then all that income is going to be reported as profit to him. He's not going to be able to write that off, right? Whatever he pays the people is money that is going to show that he keeps, right, as profit for his business. And because of that, of course, there's a lot more taxes that he would owe in that case. And then because of that, there's that underlying thing. There's a spiraling effect. He didn't want to file taxes, right? Because he knew things weren't going the way that they should go in terms of compliance. So he's going to have that avoidance to it. And years go by, he hasn't filed for that. And then it begins to become an inescapable pattern that leads to a certain outcome, which is one that he does not want. So fast forward, this now, he's coming back and he's realizing some pains that go in line with what he was dealing with, right? It's even inside of, sales tax and everything else, he's been doing this whole avoidance game just because the root of the tree is corrupt, right? The root of his decision processes were corrupt. And now, since that's grown 2 years into activity, he's dealing with the pains of it. Pains being, okay, well, now the authorities are coming after him and they're saying that he owes a lot of money. They have shut down, seized, frozen his assets. His business is at risk. He has customers and employees now that he's not going to be able to serve and take care of because things were not done the way they needed to be done. But this is how we do, guys. In some cases, we think that we can procrastinate and not take care of these things. And really the choices that we make in the moment give us the outcome down the line. And we've actually decided that we're going to have these problems when I make that choice right now. The moment that he decided that he was going to pay these guys under the table and not take care of other like sales tax obligations, the moment he decided that I'm not going to file taxes was the moment he decided that his business was going to be shut down. You get that? The moment he decided that, it didn't happen just now. It happened in the very moment 2, 3, 4 years ago, whenever that started. It happened at the moment he decided. He chose for his business to be shut down. He chose for his assets to be frozen. He chose to be in a situation where his family is now stressed out. He's stressed out. They don't know which way to go, right? The shame, the guilt, all of that was chosen the moment he decided to pay his guys under the table. The moment he decided to not handle sales tax obligations the right way. The moment he decided to not file a tax return. Right? It didn't happen now. It happened years ago. And that's what I want to get us present to. Those are the things that count. Those are the things that matter. And we got to think about, well, how much is it that is costing me really for the decisions that I make? How much is it making me really the decisions that I make right now? Okay. So what I really want to leave you with in this conversation is the critical importance of being able to do things by the book. My company is called By the Books Consulting for a reason. It's because, number one, we want to understand that number story down to a T. We want to know exactly what's going on inside of each component of our business down to the penny. And number two, which is even more important, we want to be a business and a business owner that is above reproach and beyond reproach, because everything is just done by the letter. Okay. And it doesn't take much, guys. Like if you do things the right way, there's a peace of mind, there's an ease, there's an ability to flourish and grow and scale in a way that you would not be able to, because the energy just lines up now. You already know going into this thing, well, I have the systems in place. I know how I'm going to be managing my cash flow. I know that the money that belongs to the government is going there. I know that my business structure is setting me up to win because I'm not going to overspend in this area. I know that I have the financial tracking processes to understand exactly what areas of business I want to focus on and what areas of business I want to steer away from and not spend as much time and resources and energies doing because it doesn't bring me enough profitability versus the other things that I'm doing. I already know how I'm going to give out bonuses to my guys because that money's going to be there guaranteed because I've created all the budgets and everything. I know what that's going to look like. So when we take care of these things, when we know these things down to the letter and we don't resist them, because a lot of times what we do inside of business is that the things that we don't like to do, the things we feel as though we're not really good at, the things that are causing us some level of stress, we tend to resist those things. And because we resist those things persist in life. And not only that, they get compounded as even greater problems. All right. So with that being said, I know if you're a contractor and you are at this time of year, and I'm not just talking about any contractor. I'm talking about the contractor just generating 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 million or more a year, right? And you really want to take your business to the next level, but you've identified that there's some areas in here that are just not put together that are causing you pain, right? And there's a flow to business that can exist where you are. There's an ease to business that can exist where you are. When those things come into alignment, I get it, man. Like that's really where you want to be. Keep going, keep putting one foot in front of the other, keep actually identifying this area, this specific area that we need to put back into alignment. Fix that thing, man. Whatever it takes. Be there with it. Have your systems work. And when I talk about this, man, it's a combination of business structure, financial tracking and systems, right? And the team, like the people that actually are a part of the partnership where you are, the team that you have, it's that too, that comes together and communicates very well about what's happening inside of business, right? To have these components work together so that you can continue to expand and get everything out of what you're doing and not leave money on the table, right? Because I guarantee you, man, like if you're experiencing some of these issues, you're leaving tens and maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars each year on the table that could go back into your pocket. And you want to take care of those year after year after year, because when you do that, you're able to do a lot more in different areas of life and get back to the things that count for you and your family, for your employees, for your clients, the people that you serve. And then that energy actually flows into something that makes your life even more worthwhile, is what I want to say. So I'm saying that with you guys, and that's what I want to leave you with today. Focus, contractors making more than $2 million, man. You want to take this thing to the next level in terms of being able to keep more money and make more money in your business. You just haven't figured out how to do that well. You want to really get rid of those headaches that go along with compliance as well. The confusion around what to pay people, how to pay them, what that looks like, even how to pay yourself, and what that looks like to where you're not going to get in trouble. All right. I'm urging you, man, to get those things identified, like clear. If you need help with that, we are here. You know how to reach us. I'm going to bring this back to the beginning so you can see that. All right. So this is how you reach us. Just get on the conversation, man. Figure these things out. You don't have to continue to settle for dysfunction in areas in which you don't have to have dysfunction in business. You can have all these things work today. Right? It's just you and I that get in our own way when it comes to this. And I'm 100% clear about that. Right? It's just a decision away. It's a choice away. Right? You decide to have this work and it works. Because after that, the actions will flow. And then once that's created, solidified now, you don't ever have to go back. It's just something that's created as a system that works year after year after year. And we just build on things after there. Okay. Hey guys, it has been great being with you. I know this call has been a little shorter than usual. And I want to say, Merry Christmas. I'll say this again next week when we come on. Merry Christmas. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're getting out of what you're doing in your business, what you really want. I'm hoping that you and your family are blessed. I'm wishing that for you. I enjoy spending time with you, and the time that I do spend, I'm looking forward to doing more contribution in this area with more of you as our company continues to grow, as we continue to reach out to those people who actually we can make the difference for. I'm excited for you. Okay, is what I want to say. I'm glad that you're here in this conversation. If you've been here, thank you. All right, and I will talk to you later. Take care, guys. Bye bye.